After great anticipation, the first season of the Resident Evil video game franchise adaptation on Netflix has now been made available. Fans of the long-running video game franchise will recognize gameplay narratives in both the show's main plot and its backstory mythology, even though it takes place in its own universe. In today's episode, we will be talking about the 15 Easter eggs or the unknown facts about the Resident Evil series. Netflix has made sure that the adaptation has a ton of Easter eggs, other secret information, and nods to the original video games and even some previous films. As viewers are sure to notice more and more with each viewing, these details provide the series with a solid foundation for repeat viewings. Watch for the Easter eggs. We were ecstatic to discover so many. Whatever rating you give the show, it's clear from these Easter eggs that the writers tried to draw inspiration from a variety of previous Resident Evil events, which was made possible by the futuristic setting of the program in terms of the Resident Evil timeline. Due to the fact that they are arranged in order of appearance, these Easter egg conversations inevitably contain show spoilers. However, we have hidden some of the latter spoilers for those who may not have yet reached that point. Please let us know in the comments if your favorite Easter egg is either on this list or isn't at all. Number 15. Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. The scavenger hunt Albert created for Billy and Jade in the 6th episode includes a substantial portion of the renowned piano sonata written by Ludwig van Beethoven at the start of the 17th century. This well-known song serves as a mission aid in the first Resident Evil video game. The Moonlight Sonata is a small bit of lore within the Resident Evil universe, separate from gameplay and show significance. Oswell Spencer, the co-founder of Umbrella Corporation, is reported to have enjoyed listening to it. Number 14. The Gravedigger Worm, Episode 1. It's a scene that highlights the magnitude of the difficulties the survivors confront, but it also seems to be a reference to the Gravedigger, a former foe from the games. Although it isn't precisely the same, it's near enough to the original Resident Evil 3 Nemesis mutation that it's likely this is what the show's creators were going for while still adding their own twist to it. Throughout the show, you'll witness that technique of interpretation used multiple times. Number 13. Mutated Dog and Spider. Episodes 1 and 3 players of Resident Evil will be familiar with the mutated canine's prevalence and irritation over a number of games due to their unpredictable behavior and propensity for jump scares. Although less frequent, the spiders are still not boss-level adversaries. They can be discovered in Resident Evil 0, and just like the show, they prefer to live in sewers, which adds a lovely, thoughtful touch whenever they do show up. Number 12. Lickers, Episode 3. The reference to one of the most terrifying creatures from the Resident Evil bestiary is one of the more obvious Easter eggs, but what list would be complete without it? For those who are unaware, lickers are people who have experienced such extreme mutations that they appear much more malformed than a typical zombie. They hunt using sound and their tongues, which can easily skewer and abduct individuals from the shadows. They have no skin and no eyes, which makes them quite the sight when you run into them in situations like the cast of the show does. Number 11. Hydra Shotgun, Episode 3. This is one of those that, even if you can't precisely recall where you saw it, may linger in your mind as something you saw somewhere. The bald, tattooed character who leads Jade and the others into the sewers in the 3rd episode, the same one with the lickers, is armed with a weapon to ward off the lickers. It turns out to be somewhat ineffectual, but for fans of Resident Evil 5, it's a cool discovery. The gun appears to be a Hydra shotgun based only on its appearance and capabilities. That was a triple-barrel shotgun that players may purchase and enhance throughout their playthroughs of Resident Evil 5. Number 10. Chainsaw Guy, Episode 4. We see a character at one point brandishing a chainsaw while wearing a bag over their head, which was one of the coolest Easter eggs to discover in Resident Evil. When Jade and her reluctant partner, Baxter, are imprisoned by a cult in the 4th episode's dramatic scene, it occurs. The character most famously known as Chainsaw Guy can be seen in Resident Evil 4 donning a similar burlap bag to the one he is wearing in the show. One significant distinction is that, despite the prison being overrun with zombies, this character appears to be a person rather than one of the living dead due to his coordination and response. Number 9. Red 9, Episode 4. We watch the Umbrella agent pull out 2 handguns before he begins firing on the zombies after we see that Baxter isn't a moron as his earlier antics could have suggested. Looking more closely at the weapons makes one of the action-packed, exhilarating scenes of the show even better. These appear to be red 9s similar to those in Resident Evil 4 based on the distinctive design of the weapon, especially its extended barrel. For those acquainted with Resident Evil 4, the red 9 is a favorite among the pistol options, thus it's a welcome sight. Number 8. Octagons. The octagon shape is most known for sharing a similarity with the Resident Evil series' Umbrella Corporation emblem. Fans are familiar with the emblem, which depicts an 8-section red and white umbrella head seen from above. The Netflix adaptation incorporates several hidden octagons throughout the episodes of the series as a tribute to this renowned emblem. There are several picture frames in the Wesker home that are of the same form as the octagonal earrings Jade Wesker is wearing in the first episode. Number 7. Alligator attack. In 4 of the video game installments, alligator and crocodile infestations are prevalent in the Resident Evil universe. The player encounters a huge alligator boss in Resident Evil 2, which is where this is most often. By including a huge, mutant alligator in the episode, the Netflix adaptation hopes to pay homage to this iconic boss battle. In the series' conclusion, this alligator oddly chooses not to attack B, signaling to Billy Wesker that there is something unique about her. Number 6. The P30 chemical compound. The P30 chemical compound is alluded to in a flashback in Episode 7 of the Netflix adaptation, despite never being mentioned in the series directly. Albie is tasked with fixing a mind control device, which Albert Wesker refers to as the P30 chemical that, according to the game's mythology, was used to control Jill Valentine. Number 5. Arklay Mountains flashback. The Arklay Mountains have long been a part of the Resident Evil universe. They were the scene of the mansion incident and are also where Lisa Trevor is thought to be hiding. Given its significance to the narrative of the franchise, the Netflix version made sure to include it as an Easter egg. The television show uses the Arklay Mountains as the backdrop for a flashback in Episode 7. In the flashback, Albert Wesker visits an Umbrella outpost on 2005 to check in on 3 of his clones who are conducting mountain research. Number 4. Typewriter or Safe Room. Episode 4. We witness Jade finally finding some relief from the undead in yet another Easter egg from Resident Evil's 4th episode. Given how bad things seem, it's not a cheerful moment, but it is an opportunity for viewers to focus on 2 intriguing set pieces: a safe room and a typewriter. The hefty door and iron bars on the windows mark the safe room, which is where players may know they are safe from zombies until they venture outside once more. A quick glimpse of a typewriter on a desk appears as Jade sags in defeat. In previous Resident Evil titles, these safe rooms were utilized to save games using typewriters. Number 3. Raccoon City. The show takes place in New Raccoon City in the year 2022. It maintains the game's specifics, including how a T-virus epidemic in 1998 destroyed the original Raccoon City. When in reality they fired a nuclear missile at the city, Umbrella claims the region was destroyed. Number 2. Ada Wand. Albert offers Jade a note with a name and address in the most recent episode. Her father describes the individual as a friend and someone to whom she may always go for support. Ada Wand is the name of the mystery spy and beloved game character. Some viewers are hoping that this is a reference to her role in the show should a second season be ordered. Number 1. Pablo the Dog. The namesake of Pablo the Dog is one of the Netflix adaptation's most subtly hidden Easter eggs. In the series finale, Pablo, the dog owned by Jade and Billy, makes a significant appearance. Jade uses Pablo to divert Rolf's attention so that Billy can sneak supplies behind his back. The twins' dog has a noteworthy name that fans who are well-versed in voice acting in video game installations will recognize. The canine Pablo is a tribute to Canadian voice actor Pablo Kuntz, who performed the role of Albert Wesker in the first Resident Evil. With this, we conclude our video. Thank you for watching.